Are you someone who is looking to improve their spiritual health? Are you somebody who perhaps is looking for a guide throughout their life? Are you someone who's focused on self improvement but does not know where to begin? Well, I'm happy to say that I've got you covered. My name is Spencer Sanderson, and this is Mind and Mission. I started this podcast actually today. This will be the first official episode that I put out. I had the idea to start a podcast when I was a lot younger and, albeit, a lot more naive, but I wanted to start a show that I could carry with me for years and years, a show that would not only help everyone who listens to it, but also help me, because the best way to improve your life is to learn, especially from other people. So on this platform, I hope to have all sorts of people, from industry professionals and leaders to leaders in the spiritual world, because the main focus here at Mind and Mission is to improve your mental health, your spiritual health, and your personal development. And that is the main mission and main idea that I hope to accomplish throughout our time together. So wherever you're listening, whenever you're listening, and however you're listening, it is an honor to be with you today. And it is an honor to be able to have this platform so that I may help other people. So I am someone who was born a Christian. I was raised in the church all my life, but the central ideas of Christianity and about living a Christian life, they never came super easy to me. There's been a lot of struggles that I've had in life, some struggles that I still have to this day, because, newsflash, if you haven't heard it before, nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody can be perfect. The only perfect person to ever walk this earth was Jesus Christ. And though we may not be able to be perfect, we sure can improve ourselves and improve our lives and live in His way, which is a mission, like I said, that I'm still working on today. But what better time to start a show like this and to have a platform like this than a time where I am also working on these things? So I hope that throughout this experience, I learn just as much as y'all do. So I mentioned I grew up in church. I'm currently a college student right now, so I am very, very young, but I'm also in prime position to learn new things, to have new experiences. And I have made it a personal goal of mine to improve my own spiritual health. Throughout the past few months, I've begun a year-long Bible reading plan with my church here in Starkville, Mississippi. The church is Pine Lake. They have 5 campuses all throughout Mississippi, and I've been going here since freshman year. I'm now a senior in college, and this will be my 4th year attending Pine Lake. I go twice a week. We do Sunday mornings and then Wednesday nights, which is specifically for college students. It's a lot of worship, and it's a lot of people who are not too much older than us that are giving us valuable lessons to live our lives. Because if you're familiar with the college atmosphere, it is full of temptations left and right. There are things everywhere and people everywhere that try to pull you in. And for a lot of people, it can be a very challenging transition, especially for those that may have grown up homeschooled, or for those that had a more private high school experience. The transition to college can be very, very jarring. And my first couple weeks here at Mississippi State were challenging. I learned a lot from those challenges, and I'm glad that I went through those challenges, but I will not sit here and say that it was easy. It's a difficult transition for all, but that's not to scare you. If you're an adult or an older adult, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're only in high school, then you may not know about the path that lies ahead. So that's another thing I want to accomplish with this show. If you're planning on going to university, or if you're just having a significant transition in your life, I want to be here to help you. So my personal story with especially things that have been going on lately, I mentioned before that I am focusing heavily on improving my spiritual health. I'm heavily involved here at the university. I'm in 4 different clubs. I'm in the student government. I'm a student worker for the agricultural economics department here, because that is my major. I am an aspiring agricultural economist with hopes to go into grad school. So I've been doing a lot of math, a lot of research. I'm in Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity here, It's a smaller fraternity than one would expect, but most people in it come from agricultural backgrounds. So day one, we all shared a very common idea. We didn't know each other, but we had an idea of what our backgrounds were like. We had an idea already of some of the experiences that a lot of us had had before we got to the university. So that's been very valuable in my life. So, for the first few episodes of this podcast, we're going to dive deeply into scripture. We're going to start off with Genesis because there's a lot of very good stories in Genesis. And it's the foundation of history that has an effect on the entire rest of the Bible and the lives that we live today because it is the Genesis, it is the beginning, the origin of everything. But before we dive into scripture, I just wanted to spend this episode just to introduce myself and explain what all this is going to be like. So I have a neat story about this Bible that I have here, and I will admit, for the first couple years I was in college, I did not have a physical Bible. I had an adventure Bible for a while, and if y'all don't know what that is, it's a Bible that's more for younger folks. It's got a lot of illustrations in it, some fun facts, but I did not carry that with me to college, and for a while I didn't have a physical Bible. I just used my phone, used my computer, and while that stuff was pretty helpful and convenient to me, and hopefully to a lot of other people, there is nothing quite as good as having a physical paper copy in your hand. So I remember vividly, if y'all are watching on YouTube, or if y'all can see this, you'll see the Bible I've got in my hand. But in case y'all are listening and unable to see it, it's a pretty small leather bound Bible, about 6 by 9. It has red text whenever Jesus speaks. I was looking for a Bible like that because I like having the red text and seeing that able to stand out. But me and a group of my friends went to church here one morning, and I just decided that day, like, I'm going to get a Bible today. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. I'm not going to wait till next Sunday. I'm going to get a Bible today. Well, nowhere around us was really open. All the bookstores were closed. Most of the obviously all of the faith-based stores were closed because it was Sunday, but I was determined to get one. So we drove together an hour and a half east to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the University of Alabama is. And I went into the Barnes and Noble there, and I spent about a half hour picking out a Bible for me. And a half hour might seem a little strange, but to me, it was a very big decision because this book has so many important lessons, so many teachings in it, and I wanted to find the right one, which is kind of silly to say because they all have the same thing in them, but it was a very personal thing to me. But we found a Bible there and drove all the way back. So it's funny to say, but my experience getting my Bible was a 3.5 hour round road trip, which is a day that I will remember forever because not only was it a day where I had some fun times and some good times with some friends, but I also picked up a fresh copy of the book that I hope will guide how I live my life the more I study it. The 1 year plan that I spoke about, I've been doing it for 3 weeks, but I'm on week 10. So there's been several days that I just roll through it. I finished Genesis, I finished Genesis in a week. I finished Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. I'm halfway through Numbers right now. And I've also read Acts, Mark, 1st and 2nd Peter, and 1st and 2nd John. So the neat thing about this plan is that you read a little bit of the Old Testament and the New Testament together every single day, which I found really cool once I got to Exodus because I was reading the book of Acts the same time I was reading Exodus. So the things that Paul was testifying about in Acts, I was reading about them happening in real time in Exodus. So it helped to bridge a lot of the events that happened in the Bible, which I'm a history buff. I don't know a whole lot, but I do enjoy learning about different parts of history. So the history aspects of the Bible were just so very neat to me. So I want to talk a little bit about what's coming up, what y'all can expect. I touched on it earlier, but I would love to have some pastors on this podcast. I'd love to have some worship leaders. Basically, I want to have a lot of people that know a lot more than I do, because I like to think I know a lot, but I know that here at 21 years old, there is so much in this world that's left to be discovered and left to learn. So I want y'all to be able to hear from those people that have walked the walk, that have lived it, and that have studied it their whole lives. And on the personal development side, I want to have people like that are some small business leaders, maybe some people in leadership positions at institutions like universities, maybe people in administration. I want to bring in people from all sorts of different careers, from all different places in their spiritual life, because I believe that if you want to learn the whole story, you got to hear the whole story. So you've got to hear people that have come from all walks of life, and hear their experiences. So that is a goal I have going forward. I want to be able to put out episodes every single week is the idea that I have. Every week, or maybe every 5 to 6 days. Might be a little shorter than a week, and it might be a little bit longer than a week, but I want to stay mainly consistent, not only for me but also for y'all, because I don't want to just drop an episode and disappear for a month. None of us like that. But that is what I want to accomplish through this. So wherever you're listening, go to the episode description. There you can find links to the YouTube channel, the Spotify channel, the Apple Podcast channel, as well as the Instagram and TikTok, where there will be shorter clips of the show that are published throughout the week. The main ideas, the main points, some of the fun facts I share, some of the very fun stories that we hear. But I truly hope all of y'all will follow me on this journey. And like I said at the beginning, it is an honor to be here. It's an honor to be speaking to y'all, and I'm very glad that y'all have joined me for this part of your day. So, from my heart to yours, God bless you all, and I look forward to this journey together.